Okay, this little video is going to feature two very little precious sweethearts of the Angel's Heart Dog Rescue that need loving homes and maybe a little bit more of a special understanding than maybe some of your other dogs do. So that's why I'm making this little featured movie of both Betsy here on the left. Hi, sweetie. And Harriet, a little Harriet. Okay, so a little something about Harriet. She is a little rat terrier Chihuahua mix, or she possibly could be a toy fox terrier Chihuahua mix. And she had luxating patellas. And for those of you who don't know what luxating patellas are, it's when the kneecap of the back leg or legs slips out of its place intermittently, and the dog does a little skip to my loo thing, and then it just keeps on stepping. Now, the luxating patella condition is actually quite common in many toy breeds and small dog breeds. A lot of dogs have luxating patellas. It's just that we as a rescue organization felt that by surgically stabilizing Harriet's back legs, whereby the patella now no longer slips out of its little socket, if you will, or location, whereby the patella rests, that she'd have a better chance of finding a home. But of course now we write in her bio that she's had surgery, and oh, everyone's so concerned. Oh my goodness, this dog has had surgery. Well, what you really need to understand here is that there's a whole lot of little dogs and toy breed dogs out there that have grade 1 luxating patellas that never have a surgical repair. And they're not as good as Harriet is now that she has had the surgery. And in fact, they're in a lot of shelters and rescues, dogs with luxating patellas. But in other words, we just don't want people to be scared by the fact that she's had surgery, because she's actually in tip-top condition now at this point. Her kneecaps now no longer slip, and she's just good to go. The only thing about Harriet is I probably wouldn't adopt her to a home that had a 2-story house, because then she'd have to spend the rest of her life several times a day going up and down stairs. Probably not to a home where people make the claim that they want to take 2 and 3 long walks a day. I do have people that write me that say that they take 2 and 3 long walks a day, and quite frankly, I don't know how they have the time for it, but they do. But Harriet can play in the yard and run and jump and skip and dance and jump up on the bed, and she can do anything that any other dog can do. She's just as capable physically. She actually outruns many of the other dogs at the rescue. They're chasing her. But again, there's no need to, run marathons with a dog that has already had a surgery. But now on to Betsy. She's just a little sweet dog, just a little sweetheart. Aren't you, little Betsy? Now Betsy is 2 years old, and she is a miniature pinscher Italian Greyhound mix. She's got a beautiful tricoloring, and she's got a very rich, beautiful tricolored, very healthy coat. Now Betsy has collie nose. Betsy. She has collie nose, and a lot of your collies have collie nose, and that's why they named the condition collie nose. And basically that's when the nose of a dog, and I want you to understand, I don't mean the entire complete nose, but that is when parts of the nose of a dog turn pink. And it's actually a pigment condition, okay? And when we first got Betsy, she had a lot of pink on the top of her nose, and because of the fact that we've been giving Betsy a special topical ointment every day, and it's only once a day, her nose is starting to come back to being black again. And as I continue to put, you know, the ointment on her nose every day, pretty soon you're probably not going to see not even a shade of the pink anymore. But Betsy's adoption is contingent upon a very loving and understanding human being that actually embraces, you know, what true rescue is all about. And what true rescue is all about is really giving a chance to some of the sweethearts in the shelter that are going to be put to sleep because they have, you know, some kind of a mild imperfection that would make a lot of the rescue groups pass them by. But I don't want to be that person that leaves them behind for a small, you know, imperfection that seems like it can be resolved with relative ease. So again, she is a darling, sweet little baby. She is going to need this topical ointment put on her nose once a day for the rest of her life, if you want to be completely honest. Because if you don't put the medicine on her nose at least once a day, it's a little topical ointment. You just put a glove on. You just put a little glove on and dab a little bit on the top of her nose. It's about as simple as that on a once a day basis. But if you don't put something on her nose at least once a day, this medication, in other words, her nose will go back to being pink. And it shouldn't go back to being pink because that's when the nose is more exposed to the elements and to the sun. It can become more sunburned and stuff. She also needs sunscreen put on her nose if she's going to go outside. You want this cookie? And again, that's what makes that's what makes Betsy special needs, is because she's got to have a dab of ointment put on her nose for the rest of her life. Is the ointment expensive? It's a little bit pricey, but it's a relatively good sized tube, and we'll let you know where to get it. And from what we can see, this tube will last anywhere from 4 to 6 months. So she's a sweetheart. And again, I could go to the shelter and rescue, you know, a bunch of cute little puppies if I wanted to and turn them over hand over fist. But I try to, you know, open my heart to some of these little sweethearts that not just need a little chance. Like Harriet would have been passed over because she had the luxating patellas, but I chose to pull her anyway and do a surgery on her. And with Betsy, she had the pink nose. And again, it's really getting a lot better, isn't it, girl? Yeah, that's right, that's right, that's right, that's right. Yeah, good girl, good girl, good girl, good girl, good dogs. Good dogs. Harriet, good girl.